3 months ago, Dashiell started brushing off my concerns as just jokes. It all kicked off in September when I asked him to stop flirting with girls at parties. He just laughed and told his buddies I was obsessed with him. Dean, Randall, and Curtis thought it was a riot. They'd toss out snarky comments about clingy girlfriends whenever I was nearby. Dashiell pushed boundaries hard. He'd dance with other girls at bars, throwing me a smug wink from across the room. He even handed out his number to random women right in front of me. When I called him out, he said I was overreacting to normal socializing. "It's just dancing," he'd scoff, acting like I was losing it. His friends always had his back, no exceptions. Last weekend at Curtis's birthday bash, Dashiell's ex, Sabrina, showed up in a tight red dress. They'd been texting for weeks, though he swore it was just friendly. I saw her stroking his arm, fingers lingering on his bicep. Dashiell kept smirking at me. Dean and Randall stood close, phones out, filming it all. The party was packed with college kids and others from nearby schools. Dashiell was drinking nonstop since we got there at 8. He kept buying Sabrina drinks, ignoring me for hours. Whenever I tried joining their chat, he'd turn away or switch topics fast. At 11 o'clock, Dashiell pulled Sabrina close by the waist. He kissed her deeply, hands on her hips, for a solid 30 seconds. Dean and Randall started chanting, "She deserved it. She deserved it," while aiming their cameras at me. People turned to stare. Some laughed, others looked uneasy but stayed quiet. Dashiell broke the kiss and grinned at me. "Just a joke, babe," he shouted. Sabrina giggled, whispering in his ear. He nodded and squeezed her waist again. I pushed through the crowd to the front door. People parted, staring. My phone buzzed like crazy before I reached my car. Dashiell sent 15 texts by the time I got home. "You're ruining my night. Come back and apologize to Sabrina. Stop being so dramatic. Everyone thinks you're psycho. This is why guys avoid serious girlfriends. You embarrassed me. Learn to take a joke." I drove home and shut my phone off. Sunday morning, I saw Dashiell's 6 Instagram stories from midnight to 3 a.m. videos of him grinding with random girls, close-ups of them pressed against him. Captions read, "This is what happens when you try to control me. Freedom feels amazing." The last one showed him taking shots with 3 girls, captioned, "Single life hits different." He tagged Dean, Randall, and Curtis in every post. At 3 a.m. Sunday, Dashiell banged on my apartment door for 5 minutes, yelling my name loud enough to wake neighbors. When I opened it, he stank of booze, cigarettes, and different perfumes. His shirt was wrinkled, stained dark, hair a mess. "You're a psycho girlfriend," he slurred, swaying. "Every guy cheats eventually. At least I did it to your face, not like some coward." I told him to leave. He laughed, leaning on the doorframe. "You'll forgive me by Tuesday, like always. Remember your sister's friend at Christmas? You got over that quick." Then he stumbled to his car and drove off. Monday afternoon, Dean DM'd me on Instagram. "You're too uptight. Dashiell was teaching you about trust and boundaries. Be grateful he cares enough to help you grow." I read it twice and closed the app. 20 minutes later, Celeste, Curtis's girlfriend, messaged me. She'd seen their group chat on his phone and sent 23 screenshots from Sunday night. Dashiell bragged about putting me in my place. "She'll crawl back like always," he wrote. "They all do when you show them who's boss." Randall sent crying laughing emojis. Curtis said, "Savage move, bro." Dean added, "She needed that reality check." Dashiell posted a shirtless photo in bed, hair messy. "Single life's treating me great," he captioned. His friends piled on with more laughing emojis. "Dashiell thinks he's got me figured out. He sees me as the naive girl who apologized after our first fight 2 years ago, the one who blamed herself when he mocked my weight at his family's Christmas dinner. He's probably celebrating with his buddies now, thinking he's won. He doesn't know what's coming. Remember Dashiell saying I'd come crawling back by Tuesday? Well, Tuesday came, and I did nothing. No texts, no calls, not even a glance at his social media. By Wednesday morning, he'd lost it. 17 missed calls and 43 texts flooded my phone. His messages started off typical. "Hey babe, you're being so immature." But they got desperate fast. "I know you're reading these. Why ignore me when I'm trying to fix this?" This silent treatment is old. By Thursday, he was unraveling. "You're throwing away 2 years over a harmless joke. Sabrina meant nothing. I was drunk, my friends egged me on, you know how they are." What gets me is he kept calling it a joke. Kissing his ex while his buddies filmed me, humiliated, was supposed to be funny? This guy's nerve is unreal. Friday afternoon, he showed up at my job. My coworker Miranda found me in the break room, saying some agitated guy was asking for me. I peeked out, Dashiell, pacing, hands raking through his hair, stressed as always. I walked into the lobby, and his face lit up like he thought I'd cave. "Thank God," he said. "I've been trying to reach you. We need to talk and move forward together." I told him we'd talk right there in the lobby since he made our drama so public. His face fell. "Don't be like this," he said. "I'm here to apologize like adults." I asked what he was sorry for. He said he was sorry I misunderstood his joke and got hurt. Not for kissing Sabrina. Not for humiliating me. Just sorry I didn't get his humor. I said his apology was noted and told him to leave. He got loud, saying I was blowing it out of proportion. "Every couple deals with this," he claimed. "It's about growing and trusting each other." Miranda and half the office were watching now. Dashiell noticed, lowered his voice, and stepped closer. "I'm not leaving until we sort this out properly," he said. That's when it hit me. He truly believed I'd fold like before. The old me would have been mortified causing a scene at work and agreed to talk privately to get him to go. But those group chat screenshots changed me. Seeing him brag about putting me in my place, betting I'd crawl back, flipped a switch. I told him we were done, completely, no breaks, no fixes. His face cycled through emotions in seconds, confusion, disbelief, anger, then a fake laugh. "You don't mean that," he said. "You're just upset. We've got 2 years, you can't toss that over something this dumb." I told him kissing his ex while his friends filmed wasn't dumb, it was calculated cruelty. His group chat proved how he felt. Showing up drunk at my place at 3 a.m. wasn't sweet, it was disrespectful and scary. He got defensive. Those guys were just being guys. Group chats are like that, stupid talk to look cool. It's not real. He said the kiss was just drunk showing off, nothing serious. What sealed it was when I said his drunk visit scared me, and he rolled his eyes. "Come on, I'd never hurt you. Stop being so dramatic." That showed me everything. He doesn't respect my boundaries, feelings, or safety. He never will, he thinks I'm just overly sensitive. I walked away, leaving him in the lobby, and went back to work like he wasn't there. Through the window, I saw him stand there for 10 minutes, probably waiting for me to come back. That evening, Celeste left 3 voicemails. Dashiell had called her, begging her to talk sense into me, claiming I was having a breakdown and needed family to make me see reason. Celeste was livid. She said Dashiell painted himself as the victim of my jealous, controlling behavior, saying I freaked out over innocent flirting and was punishing him with silence. But here's the best part, Celeste was at Curtis's party. She saw Dashiell kiss Sabrina while his friends chanted and filmed. She saw my humiliation as I left. When Dashiell tried to twist the story, Celeste shut him down. She told him it wasn't flirting, it was public humiliation for fun. Any man who'd do that to someone he loved had issues, and if he tried manipulating her again, she'd let him have it. Dashiell didn't take it well. Celeste said he argued, insisting she didn't get the full story and that I'd been jealous and controlling for months. When she wouldn't budge, he accused her of fueling my drama. That was yesterday. This morning, I got a text from Dashiell's mom. "Hi, sweetie. Dashiell said you're having issues. Can we grab coffee this weekend to talk it out? You know he loves you." That's when I saw his plan. He's rallying his mom, my sister, probably our friends too, thinking if enough people push me, I'll cave and be his doormat again. But I'm not the girl who apologized after his last joke or blamed myself when he flirted with my sister. I've been planning something since Sunday, and it's nearly ready. He wants to play games with others involved. Fine. I'm in, but he won't like my move. Tuesday's going to be wild. I'm fuming right now, but also kind of impressed with how this unfolded. Dashiell's mom wanting to grab coffee? That was just the start of his sneaky plan to rope both our families into his manipulation. Saturday morning, I'm at Target buying groceries when my phone rings. It's my mom, sounding worried. She just talked to Dashiell's mom, who said I'm having a mental health crisis and refusing to talk about our issues. I lay out the whole party mess for my mom, the kiss with Sabrina, the filming, the group chat messages, all of it. She's furious. She says Dashiell's mom described a totally different story, me having a jealous meltdown over harmless socializing and now punishing him with silence. My mom calls Dashiell's mom back right away, putting her on speaker. Dashiell's mom starts fretting about my emotional state and how Dashiell's heartbroken that I won't work things out. My mom cuts her off and tells the real story, the public humiliation, the intentional kiss, his friends chanting and filming me. Dashiell's mom goes quiet, then says, "That's not what Dashiell told us." In Dashiell's version, I freaked out over his ex showing up, made a scene over him being polite, and stormed out after a friendly hug. His friends laughed at my overreaction, not at humiliating me. His Instagram posts? Just blowing off steam after I ignored his calls. My mom's stunned. She asks if Dashiell's mom really believes he'd lie about something this big. After a long pause, she says she trusts her son. Maybe there's two sides to every story. That sets my mom off. She says if Dashiell thinks humiliating me is okay, his mom failed as a parent. Any mother defending her son kissing other women in front of his girlfriend raised him to disrespect women. Dashiell's mom hangs up. Sunday gets worse. My dad calls, saying Dashiell showed up at our house for a man-to-man talk. He found Dad in the garage, acting all polite and concerned. Dashiell told him I've been battling jealousy and trust issues for months, that he's been patient, but I've gotten controlling about his female friends. The party was just me snapping over normal socializing. Dad, not knowing the full story, listens as Dashiell says he loves me and wants to work through my insecurities, even offering couples counseling to make me feel secure. Then Dashiell asks Dad to convince me to give our relationship another shot, saying I'd listen to him. Dad says he'll think about it and get back to him. After Dashiell leaves, Dad calls me, confused why Dashiell seems so genuine if he did what I said. I rush to my parents' house and tell them everything from the start. The boundary pushing, the blatant flirting, the kiss with Sabrina while his friends filmed, the group chat where he bragged about putting me in my place. Dad's face hardens as I talk. By the end, he's livid that Dashiell lied to his face. Mom shows him Celeste's group chat screenshots. Dad reads Dashiell calling me a psycho girlfriend, saying I'll crawl back, and he loses it. He calls Dashiell on speaker. Dashiell answers, chipper, thinking Dad's on his side. Dad demands he explain the group chat messages about putting me in my place. Dashiell stammers, saying it's just guy talk, not serious. Guys exaggerate to seem tough, he claims. He says he was hurt, venting after I left the party. Dad asks about the Sabrina kiss video. Dashiell calls it a quick, friendly kiss that looked worse on camera, saying his drunk friends were being idiots, but he can't control them. Then Dad hits him with the big question, why did he lie at our house, making me look jealous and unstable instead of admitting he kissed another woman? Dashiell gets defensive, saying he was protecting my reputation, not wanting my parents to think less of me for causing a dramatic scene over nothing. Dad shuts that down. Lying to manipulate my parents isn't protecting me, it's manipulative. Any man who humiliates his girlfriend publicly and lies to her family isn't welcome in our home. Dashiell argues Dad doesn't get the full context, that I've been controlling and jealous, pushing him to his limit. Dad explodes, saying even if that were true, kissing another woman in front of your girlfriend is never okay. Real men end relationships, not humiliate for fun. Dashiell tries interrupting, but Dad cuts him off. Lying to manipulate me through my parents shows his true character, a coward dodging consequences. Dad tells him never to contact us again and hangs up. Then I wake up to 31 texts from Dashiell. He's lost it. From 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., it's pure desperation. Your parents turned on me because of your lies. I didn't lie to your dad. I was sparing your feelings. You're ruining our good times over one dumb mistake. I can't eat or sleep. Everyone's taking your side without hearing mine. By 4 a.m., his tone darkens. You've made me a monster to our families. I trusted you, and you're using it against me. 2 years wasted because you can't forgive one mistake. I don't even know you anymore. His final 6 a.m. text, I'm not giving up on us, no matter what. Wednesday evening, Dashiell's at my parents' house again. Dad spots him through the window and calls me. I drive over and find him on their porch, refusing to leave until someone hears him out. I ask what he's doing. He says he's been there 2 hours to explain his side. He rambles that everyone's against him based on half-truths, that the group chat was taken out of context, and the Sabrina kiss was drunken stupidity, not cruelty. He loves me and would never hurt me on purpose. I tell him, intentional or not, he hurt me. His actions have consequences, and now he faces them. He gets agitated, saying I'm unforgiving over one drunken mistake. He begs me to focus on our good times, trips, holidays, future plans, saying 2 years of love outweighs 15 minutes of bad judgment. But he won't own it. It's always bad judgment or one bad night, never I kissed my ex to hurt you or I let my friends film your humiliation. Dad comes out and tells Dashiell to leave. Dashiell argues he has a right to save our relationship and Dad's meddling in something that's not his business. Dad steps closer, saying Dashiell made it his business by lying to manipulate me through them. Dashiell leaves but says to me, this isn't over. I know you love me. You'll see you're throwing away the best thing ever. Dashiell thinks he's the victim, that I'm ruining a good relationship over a minor incident I'm blowing up. But I've been planning something since this started. It'll show Dashiell who I really am. After watching him manipulate our families, I'm more determined than ever to make him face what he deserves. My trap's almost ready. He thinks he knows me. He has no clue what I'm capable of when pushed too far. I'm still reeling from what happened yesterday. That trap I hinted at? It went off, and Dashiell's world crashed spectacularly. I'm buzzing with adrenaline, feeling like the queen I know I am. Since this nightmare began, I've been planning. Dashiell thinks he's clever with his manipulation, but he misjudged me. He didn't realize how well I know his tricks. Dashiell loves bragging about his conquests. Always has. He filmed that Sabrina kiss because he thrives on proving his power over women. I was certain he kept those party videos. Thursday afternoon, I texted him to meet up, not to reconcile, but to talk honestly about what went wrong so we could move on. He replied in 30 seconds, suggesting the coffee shop where we had our first date. I said it was too public for such an emotional talk. How about his apartment Saturday afternoon for privacy? He agreed instantly, probably thinking I was ready to grovel, just like he predicted. I arrived at his place at 2 p.m. Saturday. He'd cleaned up, showered, nice shirt, tidy apartment. He offered coffee, acting all caring, as if he hadn't sent me manic 4 a.m. texts. I told him I'd been reflecting on our relationship and wanted his side, admitting I might have overreacted. I promised to listen without interrupting. His face lit up like he'd won. He said he never meant to hurt me, that the party got out of hand due to alcohol and peer pressure. Kissing Sabrina was just him acting dumb, not betraying me on purpose. I nodded, asking what his friends said to pressure him. How did the kiss start? Did I miss something? He got animated, thinking he was finally getting through to me. He explained Dean and Randall teased him about being whipped, daring him to flirt with other women to prove he wasn't scared of me. Then he dropped a bombshell I didn't know. I'll never forget the moment I saw the truth in those videos, the ones that stripped away every lie Dashiell had fed me. My heart pounded as I watched him unravel, his smug confidence crumbling under the weight of his own actions. It was Saturday, September 13, 2025, and by the end of that day, I'd turned the tables on him in a way he never saw coming. I'm still buzzing with adrenaline, feeling like the absolute queen I am. This wasn't just revenge, it was justice, and I played it perfectly. The nightmare started 2 weeks earlier at a house party hosted by Dashiell's friend Dean. I'd gone with Dashiell, my boyfriend of 2 years, expecting a fun night of dancing and laughter. We'd had our ups and downs, sure, but I thought we were solid. I trusted him. That trust shattered when I saw him across the room, his hands all over Sabrina, a girl I barely knew. She was grinding against him, and he wasn't pushing her away. His friends, Dean and Randall, were filming, their laughter cutting through the music like knives. I stood there, frozen, my stomach twisting as the crowd's eyes darted between me and the spectacle Dashiell was making. Then came the kiss. Dashiell grabbed Sabrina, pulling her into a deep, passionate kiss right in front of me. Dean and Randall hooted, chanting, "She deserved it," while pointing their phones at my face. I felt my cheeks burn, my chest tighten. I was humiliated, betrayed, and on display for their amusement. I left the party in tears, my world collapsing as their laughter echoed in my ears. The next day, Dashiell bombarded me with texts, claiming he was drunk, that it meant nothing, that his friends had pushed him into it. He swore he loved me, that he'd never hurt me on purpose. His apologies were laced with charm, the kind that had always pulled me back before. But this time, something in me shifted. I wasn't just hurt, I was angry. And that anger sparked a plan. I knew Dashiell better than he thought. He was the kind of guy who thrived on control, who loved having proof of his conquests. He'd bragged about past hookups, always with a smirk, like he was untouchable. I was certain he'd kept videos from that night. Guys like him always do, they need trophies to stroke their egos. If I could get him to show me those videos, I'd have the evidence to expose him. But I had to be smart. He was manipulative, and I needed to outplay him at his own game. On Thursday, I texted him to meet. Not to reconcile, but to talk honestly about what went wrong. My phone pinged in under 30 seconds, he suggested the coffee shop where we'd had our first date. Too public, I replied. I wanted privacy for such a heavy conversation. How about his apartment on Saturday afternoon? He agreed instantly, probably thinking I was ready to forgive him, just as he'd predicted. I could almost see his smug grin through the screen. Saturday came, and I prepared like I was going into battle. I wore a simple black top and jeans, nothing flashy. I didn't want him to think I was trying to impress him. My phone was fully charged, tucked in my pocket with the voice recorder app ready to go. I wasn't sure what I'd capture, but I knew I needed every word he said. My heart raced as I drove to his place, a mix of nerves and determination fueling me. This wasn't about getting him back, it was about taking my power back. I knocked on his door at 2 p.m. sharp. Dashiell opened it, looking like he'd put in effort, freshly showered, wearing a crisp blue shirt, his apartment tidier than I'd ever seen it. The faint scent of coffee filled the air as he offered me a cup, his voice soft and concerned. "I'm glad you're here," he said, his eyes searching mine. "I've been a mess without you." It was classic Dashiell, charming, remorseful, playing the part of the devoted boyfriend. I'd fallen for it before, but not today. I sat on his couch, keeping my expression neutral. "I've been thinking about us," I said, my voice steady. "I want to hear your side. Maybe I overreacted at the party. I'll listen, no interruptions." His face lit up, a flicker of triumph in his eyes. He thought he had me. He launched into his story, leaning forward, his hands animated. "I never meant to hurt you," he said. "The party got out of hand. I was drunk, my friends were pushing me, and I screwed up. Kissing Sabrina was just dumb showboating, it didn't mean anything." His words were smooth, practiced, like he'd rehearsed them in the mirror. I nodded, playing along. "What did your friends do to pressure you?" I asked. "How did the kiss even start? Did I miss something that night?" He relaxed, thinking he was winning me over. He leaned back, his voice growing more confident. That's when he dropped the bomb. "It was all planned," he admitted, almost casually. My heart stopped, but I kept my face calm. He explained that Dean had texted Sabrina earlier that week, inviting her to the party specifically to mess with our relationship. "They thought your reaction would be hilarious," he said, shaking his head like it was just a silly prank. I didn't know until that night, and by then, I was too drunk to think straight. I felt a surge of anger, but I swallowed it. "Why would you go along with a plan to humiliate me?" I asked, letting my voice crack just enough to sound hurt. He got defensive, his tone shifting. "I didn't plan it. I only found out when we got there. Sabrina started flirting, and Dean and Randall were filming, egging me on. I was caught between letting them down or you. It was a split-second choice, and I regretted it right away." I nodded slowly, pretending to process his words. "Thank you for being honest," I said softly. "I'm starting to see the full picture. Maybe I judged you too quickly." His shoulders relaxed, a small smile tugging at his lips. He thought he'd manipulated me into forgiving him. He thought he'd won. Then I set the trap. "My friends keep asking about that night," I said, keeping my tone light. "They want details, and I need to explain it right. Do you have any videos from the party? Something to help me understand what happened?" His face froze for a split second, a flicker of unease in his eyes. "Gotcha," I thought. He hesitated, then admitted, "Yeah, I've got some clips on my phone from Dean and Randall. I haven't watched them, they're too painful." His voice was heavy with fake regret, but I could see the gears turning. He was nervous. "Let's watch them together," I suggested, keeping my voice gentle. "I want to see it from your perspective. It might help us both move forward." He wavered, his fingers twitching on his phone. For a moment, I thought he'd refuse, but he nodded. "Okay," he said. "Maybe facing it honestly will help." He opened his phone's gallery, and there they were, 15 videos from that night. My heart pounded as he tapped the first one. I leaned closer, my phone still in my pocket, secretly recording every word he said. The videos started playing, and they were worse than I remembered. The early clips showed Dashiell dancing with other women while I stood nearby, looking uneasy. Dean's voice cut through the music, laughing. "Let's see how much she'll take," he said, his phone aimed at me. Randall chimed in, "She's not going anywhere, test her limits." My chest tightened watching myself, oblivious to their cruel game. Then came the Sabrina videos. One showed Dashiell groping her as she grinded against him, his hands roaming her body while he glanced at me with a smirk. Another captured him whispering in her ear, his eyes locked on mine, as Dean laughed, "She's pissed, this is great." I felt the humiliation all over again, but I kept my face neutral, letting Dashiell think I was open to his excuses. The kiss video was the hardest to watch. Dashiell grabbed Sabrina, kissing her with a passion he hadn't shown me in months. Dean and Randall chanted, "She deserved it," their cameras panning to my crushed expression in the background. I looked like a ghost, my eyes wide with shock and betrayal. I wanted to scream, but I stayed silent, letting the videos speak for themselves. The worst came last, a clip after I'd left the party. Dashiell and Sabrina were making out harder, his hands up her dress as he pinned her against a wall. Randall's voice narrated, "Post this. She needs to see what she's missing." My blood boiled. They hadn't just humiliated me, they'd reveled in it. As the videos played, Dashiell tried to downplay them. "It looks worse on camera," he said, his voice shaky. I was so drunk I barely remember. The guys were just being idiots with their comments. He was scrambling, but I could see the panic in his eyes. He knew those videos were damning. When the last clip ended, I turned to him, my voice calm but firm. "Those videos show calculated cruelty," I said. "You and your friends planned to humiliate me for fun. No amount of alcohol or peer pressure excuses that kind of disrespect." His face fell, the confidence draining from him. He backtracked fast. "You're misreading it," he insisted. "The videos lack context." I was drunk, confused. I wasn't thinking about how it'd affect you. His excuses were weak, and he knew it. I could see the sweat beading on his forehead. I leaned back, crossing my arms. "Thank you for showing me the videos," I said. "I've got the full picture now." He looked confused, his brows furrowing. "What do you mean?" he asked. I pulled out my phone, revealing the recording app still running. "I've got your confession, too," I said, watching his face go pale. "Every word about Dean's plan, your part in it, your excuses while we watched the videos, it's all here." His mouth dropped open, his eyes wide with panic. "You tricked me," he stammered. "You recorded me without my consent." I smiled, unshaken. "We're in a one-party consent state, Dashiell. I can legally record our conversations." And I did. His hands shook as he realized he'd been outplayed. "What are you going to do with it?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. I didn't answer right away. Instead, I opened my messaging app and sent a pre-written group text to both our parents. The message was clear and concise. Dashiell and his friends planned to humiliate me at the party. I have video proof and his recorded confession admitting he lied to everyone. I attached 3 clips: the kiss video with his friend's chants, the one of him groping Sabrina after I left, and parts of our conversation where he admitted to Dean's scheme. Dashiell's phone buzzed as the text went through. He grabbed for mine, his voice desperate. "Delete it. Please, we can talk about this privately." He begged, saying his parents would never forgive him if they saw the videos. I stepped back, my voice cold. "You should have thought of that before you humiliated me for your friend's amusement. Actions have consequences, Dashiell." My phone lit up with replies. My mom texted, "I'm so sorry, sweetheart. We're coming over." My dad's message was blunt, "That trash is done with us." Then came the responses from Dashiell's parents, and they were everything I'd hoped for. His mom wrote, Dashiell, come home now. We need to talk. His dad's message was even harsher, I'm disgusted. You're not the son we raised. Dashiell melted down, his voice cracking as he begged me to tell our parents the videos were fake or out of context. He offered anything, money, apologies, promises to change. When that didn't work, he turned angry, accusing me of ruining his life over one mistake. He called me a manipulative psycho for recording him, threatening to spin the story to make me look bad. I laughed, unfazed. Everyone knows who we are now, I said. You can try to spin it, but the videos don't lie. I grabbed my bag and headed for the door. He followed, alternating between begging and threatening, his voice frantic. I turned, my eyes locked on his. This is the last time we talk, I said. If you contact me, my family, or anyone in my life, I'll file harassment charges. Driving home, I felt like I was floating. The weight of his betrayal, the humiliation, the months of doubting myself, it all melted away. I was powerful, in control, finally getting justice for every time Dashiell had disrespected me while I stayed silent. I'd outsmarted him, using his own words and actions against him. He'd thought he could manipulate me, but I'd played his game better. When I got home, my parents were waiting. My mom pulled me into a tight hug, tears in her eyes. I'm so sorry we didn't see how bad it was, she said. My dad, usually stoic, hugged me too. I'm proud of you, he said. You stood up for yourself and exposed his lies. Their support made my victory even sweeter. Later that night, my mom told me she'd called Dashiell's mom after watching the videos. His parents were horrified, planning a serious talk with him about respect and accountability. I smiled, imagining Dashiell squirming under their disappointment. The fallout didn't stop there. My friend Celeste sent me screenshots from a group chat with Dean, Randall, and their friend Curtis. Word about the videos had spread like wildfire. Everyone who'd been at the party knew what Dashiell had done. His social media went silent, no posts, no stories, no comments. He'd gone from king of the scene to persona non grata in a single day. The best part? I didn't do anything illegal or shady. I used Dashiell's own arrogance against him. He thought he was untouchable, that I'd crawl back like I had before. But he underestimated me. I knew his patterns, his need to gloat, his obsession with control. I'd turned his weapons into my victory. To anyone saying I should forgive him, absolutely not. Some people don't deserve forgiveness, they deserve consequences. Dashiell is one of them. I'm done being the girlfriend who gives second chances to men who disrespect me. I'm done letting people treat me like garbage to avoid conflict. Dashiell wanted to put me in my place. He thought he could humiliate me publicly and manipulate our families into believing his lies. But my place? It's far above his manipulative games. I'm a queen, and I've reclaimed my crown.